Hey there, Matt from 2A Cops here. I am out here today at the range with something out of my normal wheelhouse. Not that I don't shoot bolt guns, I just don't do a lot of videos on bolt guns. I managed to get my hands on this. It's borrowed, I got to give it back. This is a brand new Springfield 2020 Heatseeker. This one here is chambered in 6.5 Creedmoor. This is a brand new gun in their 2020 line of rifles, bolt action rifles. I have not put any rounds through this thing yet. I am going to zero this gun, probably mostly off target, but I'll probably put I'll run the first 3 rounds through this thing on target, or on camera. I am going to complete the zeroing, though, off camera. And to zero it, I just got a couple cheap boxes of Winchester White Box 6.5 Creedmoor. Throw my ears and eyes on here. Also helps if you take the lens protection little static stick thing off of there. Hey, they're much clearer that way. Alright, let me make sure I am set up where I need to be here. Oh yeah. Just a little bit. Alright. See if I'm even on paper. I do not see anything. Let me run a couple more here and see what we got. I may not be on paper. I don't think I'm on paper. I think I'm far left. I'm going to shoot the right edge of the paper to see if I'm anywhere. Yep, there we go. I was low left. Alright, so I need to move this thing up and to the right. Alright, I am not going to make you suffer through the zeroing of this thing, but once I get it zeroed, I'm going to get back on camera. Before we get too far into this, I do need to thank the channel sponsors. U.S. Law Shield has been a longtime sponsor of the channel. They are legal protection for people who carry firearms for self-defense. If you carry a firearm for self-defense, you should have some sort of legal protection. Boise Black Rifle. Can't say too much about them because Facebook apparently doesn't like the fact that they sponsor my channel. So there's not links below in the description or any discount codes. And moving on, big thank you to Thor Targets. They provide all the steel for this channel. Didn't use any of their steel in this video, but I do use it in most of my other videos. And then last but not least is Aegis Gun Care. Absolutely love their oil and their cleaning solution. They are also coming out with a suppressor cleaning system here fairly soon. That we have tested at the store, and it works really, really well. So, Aegis Gun Care, discount codes for all of those are listed down below in the video description. Let's get into this thing. I'm going to start shooting here for accuracy. I've got 3 targets downrange. They are shoot and see targets, so should be pretty easy to see where I'm grouping. I've been told by somebody who has a Waypoint 2020 with the carbon fiber barrel that they prefer lighter rounds, like in the 120 grain range. So I scrounged up what I could find. I got some Aguila 129s. I have some Norma Golden Target Match, and these are 130. I got some Federal American Eagle 120s. And then I've got some S&B blue. This is their lead-free bullets, and these are 120 grain also. So the Winchester white box that I zeroed it with is 125 grain. And for really cheap ammo, it wasn't grouping bad. So I'm gonna do a couple of 3-round groups here. And while I'm shooting that, I am going to throw on my scope shot. So you guys will be actually able to see right through the scope what I'm actually shooting. Let me make sure I can actually still see through here, which I can. I'm gonna crank the magnification up a little bit so you'll be able to see better on camera. And you guys are probably gonna see, yeah, it's a little blurry on the phone. That's because my eyes are a little blurry without glasses on up close. And so I've got this thing focused to my eyes. So I apologize, it'll be a little bit blurry on camera, but I can't shoot with glasses on. I'm gonna start with the top target down there. It is gonna be the S&B 120 grain blue. And we will see how these do. They actually have a nice little blue tip. I guess that way you can tell what they are. All right. Let's get this thing recording. I'm gonna zoom in a little bit. There we go. And again, I'm shooting at the top target here. All right. Thank God I had a can on because I forgot to put my ears on. And actually, in all seriousness, that was actually very tolerable with without my ears. So for hunting and whatnot, that can would be great for not blowing your eardrums out while you're out hunting. All right, second round. And maybe a ½ inch from the other one. So one other thing I've been told about these carbon fiber barrels, especially specifically on the Springfield 2020s, is that they tend to, your groups are going to open up as the barrel warms up. So that's another thing I'm going to be checking for here. Currently, let me take a quick look here. Yeah, the can's a little warm. I don't feel any warmth in the barrel, but granted, it's it's not cold shot cold. All right, where am I? There we go. All right, I'm gonna guess, looking at that, it's probably about a ½ inch group. So that's the S&B blue. Again, these groups are probably going to open up as I'm shooting with the carbon fiber barrel. And bear in mind, I am no precision target shooter kind of guy. I'm more on the tactical end, although obviously, I'm not horrendous. All right, let's see what the Federal 120s do. Bear in mind, please, that this Federal American Eagle I'm shooting here is not their match target ammo. It's good ammo, it's just not the best stuff that they produce. So I've got the 120 grain Federal American Eagles in there. And fire the camera up. So second target down, let's see what I can do here. That was from center of the red, probably about an inch low and barely right. That one is almost touching the previous round. So this stuff, it might those are both looking good. Bear in mind that the gun is zeroed for different ammo, so the point of impact is going to shift. But we're we're looking for the group here, not whether it's dead center on target. That's definitely a smaller group than the previous ammo. I'll get down there and measure them here. I'm not going to guess. All right, so Federal American Eagle shoots really nice. So now I'm going to Norma match grade golden target match ammo. And this is 130 grain. See what that does to the group. And the barrel's getting warm now and I'm still holding decent groups. So maybe, since that other gun, it was one of the very early 2020s, maybe they've resolved that barrel warming up, group opening up thing. So let's see, I'm gonna go third target down this time. Dead center windage, about an inch low of center. Did I start recording? Ah, damn it, I didn't. All right, so I'm an idiot, didn't record that. But on the bottom target, you can see there's a impact about an inch dead center left to right, inch low from the red center of that bottom target. So that's where I'm shooting. That was my first round. Second and third rounds will be following. And just to clarify, I am not giving this gun any time to cool down between these, so keep that in mind. It's a little bit lower than the previous round. Either that one's off paper or I just double tapped around. I think the second round and third round are touching. And this is the Aguila 129 grain soft point. Let's see how this does. You'll see I got the 3 upright targets in a row and then the one that's off to the right in the camera. All right, let's see where I'm at here. All right, there I am dead center. Let's see what happens here. 129 grain soft point Aguila. Those all shot about the same. It's looking to me like the Federal might be the best grouping out of these 3, but they're all pretty good. All right, so now that I've got some rounds for this thing, I'm gonna raise my front legs up here a little bit and I'm gonna move up the hill because from where I'm sitting, I can actually see a couple of steel plates way out there. All right, let's see if I can hit either of those plates. And I'm not gonna waste the expensive ammo. I'm just gonna use some of that Winchester white box. It was quite a bit cheaper than everything else here. And I'm actually having quite a bit of fun doing this. I think I might be getting me a 6.5 bolt gun here soon. All right, let's see where I'm at. Where did I go? There we are. All right, big plate first. And I want to say that's, I'm 100 here, that's 200 there. That's probably 400. Oh, I missed. I saw dirt, but I didn't see where in the dirt.
3 hours later.
Ah, right again. I gotta hit that damn thing. I'm not going home till I do. Got it. I am shooting at the big plate on the left. And if this holds like it did last time, if I'm holding a little bit high left. A little bit too left, a little bit too high. So let's go right here. Ding. Love that sound at long distance. All right, see if I can put 2 in a row on it. Two in a row. So once I figured out my hold, I'm more of a Kentucky windage kind of guy. If I had gone to any kind of sniper schools, I would know what to do with the knobs on here to get me back on 0, so I'm not holding high left like I am. But I really like this gun. Okay, so really quickly, I'll show you where I was. I got this camera sitting on the shooting table. For that matter, you can see the muzzle right there of the gun. You can see my targets here, the paper targets that we were shooting at. That's at 100 yards. So we're gonna zoom in. There's the 100-yard targets I was shooting at. Let me angle this guy up the hill a little bit. All right, so about the center of the screen now is the targets I was just shooting at. See this, how much I'll zoom in and see. So there, the nice and blurry steel targets there. That is what I was just shooting at. And I'm thinking, I think that's about 450, 500 from where I'm sitting. So what are my thoughts? I like this gun. I think I would prefer a version of this with a steel barrel if it was going to be like a PRS gun or a long-range target shooting gun, where you're going to be putting a heavier volume of rounds through it than a hunting gun. Hunting gun, you're shooting what, 1 or 2 rounds, 2 if you missed the first one or if you didn't quite get them the first time. So the lightweight barrel makes a lot of sense for hunting. You don't want to trek around hauling a heavy-ass PRS gun. For out here at the range, just plinking and shooting targets and steel, I'd rather have the heavier barrel. All right, back home from the range, shot this thing out there yesterday. Really like this gun. What is this gun? It's a Springfield Armory 2020, which is their entire series of bolt guns. But this particular model is the Heatseeker, and this one is chambered in 6.5 Creedmoor.
Yeah, oversized hat. It's funny.
No, it's not.
Sure it is. It's funny. It's funny because it's bigger than a normal hat.
The Heatseeker, currently, there's only one model available, 2 different calibers. Partially, it's named after the chassis that it is in, which is a Heatseeker chassis from Sharps Brothers. The Heatseeker models currently come with a carbon fiber barrel that's 16 inches long, either in 308 or 6.5 Creedmoor. They all have a 5/8 by 24 threaded muzzle, which works perfect for any of the 30 caliber cans out there that are set up for direct thread, just like this Silencer Co. Scythe STM is. I'm running a Arken EP5 5-25 optic on this. Arkens are a fairly inexpensive optic, Japanese glass, very clear glass. Actually, a lot of optic for what you get for your money. Probably more optic than you should get for your money. The furniture on here is from B5. The magazine is an AICS pattern mag, so magazines are plenty available. This one that comes with the gun is a metal 5-round capacity magazine. The bolt and receiver are Remington 700 pattern. The receiver itself is stainless. And the trigger in this guy is from Trigger Tech, and it is a adjustable trigger for 2.5 to 5 pound trigger pull. I have not adjusted this trigger. I just shot it as is. For that matter, let me grab my trigger pull gauge and I'm going to check it right now. There we go. Now we're ready. £3 15 ounces. Let's go to the next one. £4 2 ounces. £4 2 ounces. So it's right around 4 pounds currently as it sits. It'll go lower according to the manufacturer. Set that down. But let's talk about how it's shot. Let me talk about weight. Normally this thing is pretty lightweight, especially with the carbon fiber barrel. From the factory, this gun weighs 7 pounds, 7 ounces. As you see it here, with the optic on it, with the Magpul bipod on it, and with the suppressor on it, you are looking at 12.6 pounds currently. Not the lightest thing in the world. You could run a much smaller optic and have the gun stay considerably lighter. This is not remotely a light optic. You could run a different mount. It's currently in a cantilever mount. You could run separate rings. It would be a little bit lighter that way. There are ways to lighten it if weight is a concern. From a bench rest target shooting aspect, 12.6 pounds, excuse me, is nothing. It's this gun, if this had a steel barrel, it would be considerably heavier than it is. So talking about barrels, the one downside to the carbon fiber barrels is as you heat the gun up, your groups are going to start opening up. This is fairly common for carbon fiber barrels. If this was a steel barrel, if this was a heavy profile steel barrel, you would be able to get a lot more rounds out of it before you started having those groups open up. And speaking of groups, I shot this thing. I wasn't going crazy high rate of fire. It's a bolt gun. But I wasn't also letting the gun cool down. I did shoot a bunch of different ammo through it. And unfortunately, I forgot to take a picture of the last round I fired, which was the Norma 129 grain. And that shot a really decent group. I don't know that it was significantly smaller than any of my other groups. Springfield does say this gun, they have a 0.75 MOA guarantee with the correct ammo. And I am not by any means a distance or target shooter. However, I put down several groups that were in the 0.6, 639, I think, and 6.6 something diameter groups. So it is sub 0.75 MOA, this particular variant or sample. Been very impressed with this gun. Even as the barrel warmed up, I was still shooting decent groups. Those groups I just mentioned, the .634, that was after putting about 15 rounds through the gun in about maybe 8 minutes, 10 minutes. So it wasn't like I was letting the gun cool down between each shot. I wasn't leaving the bolt open and blowing air through the barrel to keep it cool. I was shooting 3 rounds at a time at a moderate pace, and then I would check my target. And then I would shoot 3 more rounds when I was zeroing the gun. And then I went into shooting on paper for groups. And that is what it shot with that rate of fire over that time span. So cold shots, probably a little bit tighter group. I did notice as I put more rounds through it, once I started kind of playing around with it, shooting it steel instead of putting it on paper, the groups did start to open up a little bit because I came back to paper and they were a little bit bigger. But it was still, I think the biggest group I shot was about 1.5 inches, and that was with the gun warm and shooting cheap Winchester white box ammo. So what are my thoughts on the gun? Really like it. Actually, I sent a text to a couple of friends on my way home from the range commenting that I'm probably going to end up having to buy one of these because I really do like it. I have not been, historically, I've not been that guy who wants to go out to the range, sit there at the bench and start shooting at stuff at distance. I'm more of a shooting on the move, tactical end of the spectrum. But after shooting this thing, I definitely see the appeal of it. I might be getting into that now too. I'm sure my wife will be really happy about that. I think that's all I got.